Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for a, album review. This is a new album review for the next new album review I'm doing for August 12th releases. Technically, this did come out on a leak about a week ago, but I downloaded it just to see how it would sound, this album. So, yeah, um, but still. This is for the Goo Goo Dolls Chaos and Bloom album that I'm going to be reviewing, their new album that is coming out on Friday, August 12th. So I'm premiering this video till like 2 or 3 p.m. today. So definitely tune into this review. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the new Goo Goo Dolls Chaos and Bloom album and let you know my thoughts on all 10 tracks. So let's dive into this album review. Now, I didn't hear any of the singles. I wanted to go into this with a fresh, open mindset to see what I thought of it as a whole. And it's an average album. So I'm going to discuss the tracks that I thought I liked and sort of were on the fence with. So, Yeah, I Like You was actually a solid track. John's vocals is not too bad in this track. I don't hate it that much. It's pretty strong, but melody wise, it's a little wonky, but it's still a solid track. It's not the worst thing that I've heard. So 4.5 out of 5. With how John's singing the song, and the melody can be a little quirky at times, depending on the area in the song. Uh, just something that I don't know if I'd really feel for too much, but I think Yeah, I Like You is a solid track. War is a pretty solid song too. It has some good drum work in it, and there's only two members in the band, John and Robbie, I believe, and they have touring members as well to help them with their tour and all that, the Goo Goo Dolls and all that. So the other two members left the band like years ago because I guess they weren't liking the direction they were going in. They're mostly soft rock kind of uh, band and all that. The Goo Goo Dolls is, so they're not terrible, but they have some good to iffy songs depending on how they sound. But War was a pretty strong song, so I'll give it a 5 out of 5. I did enjoy most of it. Save Me From Myself was decent. Not my personal favorite, but it did alright for what it went for, so 4 out of 5. There's some moments that I don't know if I feel for with this track, and I think Robbie was singing in this song if I remember correctly, and I don't know if it was sounding good. He starts mostly singing on track 5, which I'll get to that in a moment. So 4 out of 5 for Save Me From Myself. It was a solid song. It just was decent in my opinion. Um, Let the Sun was actually pretty nice of a track, and then the drum work kicks in towards the end of the track, I believe. I have to go back and listen to this album in full again to see what I think of it on a second listen, but yeah, Let the Sun was pretty nice of a track. Has a nice acoustic guitar, and John's vocals sound really good. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. There's some moments that I don't know if I feel for with the track, with how it's sounding, but other than that, the song did pretty solid, meaning it's good for what it is. Loving Life is my least favorite on the album. It's a little weaker than the other songs, and another song is probably going to get the same rating as this song too. So, Loving Life, it has Robbie singing in the track, and I'm just not connecting with his vocals, basically. It's just not sinking into a level where I like it. So I'm just cringing at it a bit, but other than that, I think they're okay vocals, just kind of cracked up a bit, in my opinion. So that's just my opinion at the end of the day. So first score for Loving Life, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. Going Crazy was pretty nice of a track. It has some good drum work. The soft drum work and guitar work is pretty nice. So I think Robbie does good with just doing guitar work, not singing, in my personal opinion. But that's just me, I guess. But the guitarist, of course. So yeah, Going Crazy's getting a 4.5 out of 5. Day After Day sounds pretty good with John singing in the track. So when John comes in with his songs and his chance to sing and all that, it sounds really good. But when Robbie sings, it just disconnects from me liking this album, and kind of is a disconnect for how the album's gonna sound structurally. So yeah, there's some slight issues I have with this album. A few issues, I guess you could say, some of the melodies and Robbie singing. But other than that, the rest of the album did averagely. So yeah, Day After Day is getting a 4.5 out of 5. Past Mistakes is a average song. It's another least favorite of mine, in my opinion. It's just Robbie singing in it, and I just don't know if I'm connecting with it on a level where I like it. Like I said in the Loving Life track, it's just Robbie singing just is a disconnect for me. Enjoying this album a lot more, and that's just my opinion, I guess. But still, Past Mistakes is getting a 3.5 out of 5. You Are the Answer was another single they released a few weeks ago, and I kind of enjoyed this song, so I'll give this a 4.5 out of 5. There's some moments where I don't know if I'm feeling for the melody, but other than that, the song didn't do too bad for what it was going for. Superstar was a really good track. I really enjoyed the closing track to this album, so I'll give this a 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution, I think Goo Goo Dolls did an average job on this album. It's an average listen, in my personal opinion. But hey, if you're a fan of the Goo Goo Dolls, you may like this album, because it's coming out this Friday, and I think it has some good songs. Two really good songs, and the other tracks are solid to average, in my opinion. So it just depends on the listener, I guess. So overall, I think the Goo Goo Dolls Chaos and Bloom album was an average listen. Definitely give it a shot and see what you think of it when it comes out on Friday at midnight. So first score for me, I'm giving the Goo Goo Dolls' Chaos and Bloom album a 7.5 out of 10. This was an average listen. It's not the best. It's not bad for what it is. But there's some moments where I just feel disconnected with how Robbie's vocals in tracks 5 and 8 sound with this album. But other than that, the album did averagely, in my opinion, so 7.5 out of 10 for the Goo Goo Dolls Chaos and Bloom album. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Goo Goo Dolls Chaos and Bloom album, if you've listened to it already. And if you enjoyed this album review I did for you guys, it is premiering at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon today. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on it if you enjoyed this album review. And sorry, the video's kind of glitching a bit. I do not know why it's doing that. I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully it's still doing it a bit, so I apologize for that. But tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I'm really sorry about the video glitching. It's kind of having a freezing moment from time to time. But I'm doing the best I can to make this review as good as possible. But still, this will premiere at 2 or 3 p.m. today, depending on when I get it out to you guys. It's probably going to be around 2 or 3 when it premieres. Maybe 2:30 at the latest, I guess, or the earliest, and 3 o'clock will be the latest. But still, I'll have more album reviews come out tomorrow for Pale Waves, and then it'll be Bella Porch, I believe is how you pronounce it, or Porsche, or something like that. I'm not sure how you pronounce it right, her last name, but Dolls is her new EP that I'll be reviewing. and then Hollywood Undead, and Nikki's Nicole. So definitely tune in to the next album reviews come tomorrow on August 11th and all that. So stay safe until then. Take care, guys. Gotta go run some errands, so I'm gonna be a little busy the rest of the afternoon. And as always, I will see you in my next review.